here of our live. I have 3 videos I'm going to be putting up. I had to ask for permission. The person
Of
who
course.
sent me the videos, I believe, is here tonight, but I really would like some input if possible. And with
Of
that,
course.
I'm going to turn it over to Grizz.
All right, yeah, welcome Annie.
Hello,
And
thank you for having me.
Annie, if you don't follow her, follow her. It's AIM Readings. Am I right? AIM Readings. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, yeah, you're good. I'm just making sure.
Oh. Yeah, so if you haven't followed Annie, it's AIM Readings. And so, yeah, we're excited to learn what you do, what your craft is. Working on the posts, I always go into the accounts and check it out and see what I can use. And, of course, we ask for permission too. And I noticed you do candles.
Yes, yes. So I started making candles for people. It is just in the United States, so I could ship out in the US. But of course, they are, I want people to understand they are, they're going to come with imperfections. They are homemade, handmade. It's not
Mhm.
like store bought. It's perfect from factory. So, yeah, I can make them for anything, any holiday, or some people, you like spiritual candles, maybe for meditation or like spells for those of you witches out there, hey. But yeah, some spell crafting. It's for whatever. If you have certain like incenses you would like me to put in there, I also incorporate those. So yeah, they're little
Mm.
handmade little stuff. So I make them as they're ordered. Yes, so I did run out of wax right now because I have been making them for family and everything for the holidays, and so I am waiting for the new shipment of wax.
Be awesome now that, yeah, the holidays are right around the corner.
Yeah, candles are great little gifts and stuff. I love working with candles. So I was like, making them would save me money. Like, yeah, because I work with them a lot.
I love, yeah, I have my little candles and my little altar and
Right? It's
um
just nice.
yeah, and then some scented ones. With me, it's like I just like the frankincense is like my favorite.
Yes, yes. It's a very versatile fragrance, I feel like. Frankincense is like healing. You can use it for meditation. You can use it as really good grounding and protection. I
Yeah.
love it for protection a lot. Yeah, I love it for protection.
So, well, I don't want to get ahead because I know that Luca has everything written down and everything
You're
goes in
being
order.
you're
But
you're
I
fine. Go for it. You're good. Go for
so the
it.
video is gonna show towards the end if I'm right, or are you gonna
Yeah,
show?
we're gonna do it at the end after Annie's set portion is done. Yes.
Okay, got it. All right. So tell us more. Okay, so I've been following your readings every day, and like I can say, like you're right on. Like every reading, like hits,
Oh, thank
and I'm
you.
just like she just flows with it. Like I could see how you're using your intuition, your guidance to read these cards because I mean it's a science. Like I'm trying to catch on to do my own readings. I started with oracle cards and angel cards, and I love them.
Hmm.
That's a great, great, great way to begin it. Oracle cards are really great just by themselves. They're awesome. And they're more like, the tarot, how it's more like the guidance of a story kind of like reading a
Yeah,
paragraph or a sentence. Oracles are more kind of like head on, right on, like quick answers.
yeah,
So it's like if there's clients where they want quick answers, oracles are good. Or maybe like, I mean, because there's only so much you can say with only two, three cards, right? So yeah, so if it's like more guidance really quickly, yeah, you're doing it great. Yeah, oracles are wonderful.
yeah. Not like tarot. To me, it's still complicated. They have a certain structure to them. You have
Oh,
to know
yeah.
the meaning of all these cards upright, if they're downright. So everyone has their style. So far, everyone that I've seen doing tarot does them differently. So, like, can you tell us like how you work yours? Like, how does it flow for you?
So the way I read tarot is completely intuitive. I do obviously stick with the tarot system. That's the whole point, right? Tarot is tarot. It's not an oracle because of that difference. It has a based system, and that's why people think it's complicated. I myself, I started learning tarot, like, I don't know, maybe I think it was 2014. I started getting into it. And I just kind of bombarded myself with all of these books and stuff, It's just reading, taking notes, putting things in my like book of shadows and putting all of these things in. And like it's funny because now when I sit back and I like read my old like writings, it's just so funny. I laugh at myself sometimes, but in a positive way. I'm like, oh my God, I remember that. Like I remember how confused I was writing this. Like so yeah, I mean, it's just a learning process and it's just like it can be overwhelming. But then when I found recently, actually, like a couple years ago, 2 years ago or something, I found this one like teacher and this one class where every one of us like really connected with each other, and everything I had ever read and connected with made me realize like I know what I'm doing, what I'm reading is correct. Like why am I
Mm,
like questioning myself? And I just had this fear, and I just kept questioning myself constantly. And that's a whole kind of trick too, because it's like learning how to trust your intuition. You just gotta, it's kind of like a muscle. You gotta work it, and the more you work it, the better and stronger it gets, the more you know like what your intuition is and what other thoughts are
Yeah,
compared to intuition. You know how to differentiate the two. So
yeah,
it's really, really awesome. Yeah.
yeah.
But that's how I got into it. And I was just like, okay, I really wanted to, obviously, what's the point of like having the gifts if you can't send it forth, right? So I really wanted to like help people. So any way I can help people, guide people. That's also why I have like meditation sessions with sound bowl healings for chakras or any of energy centers or anything like that, or just a basic little meditation, even if it's for 10 minutes, sometimes that's all we need, right? So
Right.
mhm.
yeah, so I love that. Any way I can help people, I'm just trying to give it out, you know what I mean?
And when he told me that you were gonna come on, he's like, "Go check her out," He's always telling me, "Okay, we're gonna have so and so guest. Go check out their account, this and that," and just like yeah. And then we talked a few days ago, and I'm like, I love her energy. Just you just always sound so enthusiastic and just it's
Thank you. I liked your guys' energy too. You're very down to earth, you're very humble, and I feel like you're also just trying to like get the spiritual community out there, right? Right? Yeah, you're just like very humble and you're just kind of trying to have this safe space for all of us,
yeah,
in the spiritual community or for whoever is just curious.
Yeah, yep.
Because there's also a lot of fears, a lot of misconceptions
yeah.
around. Of course, Hollywood does not help that, right? So,
Mm,
yeah, so I mean, yeah, so it's really cool that you guys are doing that. You're like creating this place where people can come and not only have fun and get insights, but also like learn, like in some way, get some insight on the spiritual community that may in real life,
mhm.
outside of
Yep.
Hollywood.
Started in this, spiritual community, my spiritual awakening. I've always felt that pull. But again, we all come from different walks, and we grew up a
Exactly.
certain culture, certain upbringings to think a certain way, certain religion. So, that really makes us who we are. So there are a lot of misconceptions. I can definitely say that. And it took me a while to break through those barriers and be
Yeah.
more, you know, really just open up and just allow things to flow. And it's finally like it just finally things started making sense to me. So, by, creating this community, absolutely, it's a nice little place you can come in and, be yourself, learn. I really like this. So, but actually going to the misconceptions, that's a good question. Like, what do you think of I'm sure you've gotten bombarded by a lot of, people maybe questioning you, just messaging maybe, you have a
Oh
lot
yeah, for sure. All
of
the time. And it's not just questioning you. It's like they're trying to, like people think like, oh, tarot reading, like they think that these cards themselves, like are some kind of evil or some kind of evil
Mhm.
entity or like devil or you know what I mean? Like, there's Satanism and Lutheranism and all of these other things, right? Like, but that doesn't mean that it's all that, you know
Right.
what I mean? No, like it's not. So that's the misconception, that there's a lot of attacks. Like that's one of the main things all these years why I've kept to myself too, is because of that fear. Because so many people, yes, we are, of course, I'm not trying to say like we're stuck in the past completely, but in the most sense, in my opinion, I think that if there weren't laws protecting us and doing things, I think that people like us would be in a lot of danger. I really do think
Yeah.
that if people were left to their own will till today, yes, there are people out there, and us in the spiritual community who put ourselves out there, we really make ourselves very vulnerable, right? At
Right.
the
Mhm.
same time of us helping, we are making ourselves very vulnerable in the process. And it's just, I used to let it get to me, but you just gotta kind of just knuckle through. I like to say knuckle through and just kind of be able to brush that stuff off. I learned to just not let it get to me and just be myself because I can't do anything. I can't control those people, right? I shouldn't
Mhm.
have to, but it all comes from either they realize that they're ignorant or they're just purposely being it. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean that they don't know any better,
Right.
right? So they're just like so stuck in like what they see in TVs and movies and shows and what they've heard, obviously through religious matters and all of these things. So there's a lot of people with preconceived notions before they even just from hearing words like spiritualism, pagan, Wiccan, you know what I mean? Just by hearing these words is things that already trigger that, right? So they come with attacks, they're always there, and social media could do better, but it is what it is, it's just a matter of learning how to deal with it. You just
Mhm.
you got to get thick skin in a way,
Yep.
you really do. But that's always going to be around. That's always going to be around. So it's just kind of like those aren't the people that come my way. Those are never going to be the people that come to any spiritual person or pagan or anyone in the craft who is doing any kind of healing or spiritual work in any kind of a sense. No one who doesn't want it is going to come to you, right? So the customers who come, they're looking for guidance. They want that help. They're open to it. So yeah, so that's a good thing because we're there to help, right? We're here to guide and share our gifts in a positive way. We're not trying to curse anybody. Everyone thinks like, we're out there trying to, throwing hexes and curses, like, no. Like we're out there doing like, having sex and orgies or something. It's hilarious. Like,
What did wait? Did I miss that? Did I miss that part of training?
no, you
'Cause
heard me correctly. Yes, the people
damn.
think these things. Like, yes,
Holy.
I mean, people will go far, it used to surprise me, it doesn't surprise me anymore. Like it's as far as people will go, yeah, I mean, it's, the imagination goes far,
If I may interject for just a second, Grizz, perfect. I don't even go. I have to go through my notes, but I do want to touch a little bit on what you were saying earlier about laws protecting everybody, whether it's this community, people who are gifted, people who are gifted but still not use their gifts,
Yeah.
people who are non-believers. Everybody protects everyone, and I believe that's true. And if that wasn't in place today, I think we would be back in the times of when they burnt witches at the stake,
Yeah.
Yeah, and
and
a
we
lot
would
of
all be done.
people think that we're dramatic for saying that, but I do feel like, when you're not experiencing it, you're not really like you don't know, you know what I mean, as much, like, because you're not experiencing it, right? So out of sight, out of mind kind of a thing.
Hmm.
And you're totally right on that. Yeah, like it's really not that dramatic. If people could, they would be, I mean, look at how evil people already are, like, just not everyone obviously, but look how evil people are and the evil things that people do. So imagine if they were left to their own wills and stuff. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of it's sad. It's really sad, but at the same time, it does come from, again, preconceived notions like we were talking about, those fears, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, it's
I
so sad.
agree.
Hmm.
So we don't get demonetized. Let's get off of politics. Let's get off of religion
Right,
for a
right.
second. Okay. Backing up, we are talking, for those of you who are just joined, who will be watching the replay, we are talking to Annie, as Grizz said, A.I.M readings, which stands for Annie's Intuitive Moments of Reading and Healing.
Yes.
Correct? Cool. Um, you can find our Instagram at A.I.M Readings, and also, is there any other platform that you use, Annie?
I'm on Instagram, YouTube, both AIM readings. You can definitely find me at anniesintuitivemoments.com. That's my website. I'm also on calendly.com/AIM readings. That's you can also go. There's like a calendar set up. You can make appointments with me through there or my website. Again, YouTube. You can always find some videos, some fun videos that I do and upload over there. On my Instagram, I upload daily readings every single morning. I do some fun little posts there as well sometimes. I'm very active on there. You can always message me there. Any questions, anything. It doesn't have to be for appointments. Of course, if you want an appointment, you can always hit me up there as well. You can also find the links to all of my stuff on my Instagram channel as well. It's all there. So don't feel
Mm-hmm.
free and don't be scared. I promise. I'm not here to hex or curse.
You know, it's strange how even our own families sometimes, our own people closest to us, who once they find out, hey, like, okay, like in my experience, I have a family member that said, man, why are you doing that kind of stuff now? You know, that you need Jesus. I grew up a Christian. I wanted to be a pastor. I read the Bible every day. God is my source. The universe is also my source.
Hmm.
And I mean, I don't go around putting hexes and everything else on people. But when that person told me that, I gave him, I said, you better watch out. I'm going to put the evil eye on you. You're not going to be able to sit for the rest of your life. And that person was just kind of like, man, you need Jesus. But I mean, I killed them with kindness.
Yeah.
Why am I gonna form myself in somebody else's vision of who I am? Because that's
Exactly.
not authentic.
Exactly. Yeah.
If I'm all wonky and I got branches growing out of me and I got a horn growing on one side of my head and I got a unicorn horn growing out the back side of my head, and that's who I am, then that's who I am. And if
I
you don't
love
like
it,
it,
right? Right?
tough, tough, you know, tough, whatever.
Right?
But that's just who I am, and that's who I want to be. That's who Grizz is. That's who she wants to be. That's who Annie is. And that's who she needs to be. You talked about having gifts, and I think we said it before. It is not a gift unless you're sharing it.
Yeah.
That's what it has to be. We are in a community to help others. There are people in this world who are looking for answers. There are people in this world who are looking for guidance. There are people in this world that need help. That
Yes.
the normal way of getting help, whether it be seeing a doctor, a psychologist, psychotherapy, medication, or whatever it is, it didn't work for them.
Yeah.
It only altered their thinking,
Right.
but it didn't hit or heal the problem. It didn't resolve the issue. That's the difference of what we do. We are here to help point you in the direction and write you that spiritual prescription of what needs to be done if you really want to get your issue or your matter resolved.
That's very
We're
true.
not.
And I love that you said that and you even like made that comparison because tarot readings, they are completely very independent of themselves, right? They're
Hmm.
very personal. They're very personal.
Hmm.
They could be general. but they could be very deep and personal. And it's very much like a therapy session because you're helping and guiding, right? It's like a conversation. The people who
Hmm.
get the most out of my readings and who go back and are just like, wow, and just thrown back, those are the ones who are open. They come with an open mind, open heart, and they're there. They conversate with me as I'm saying things, and as I'm asking them questions. They are, they're not just sitting there expecting me to know everything, right?
Right.
They are there.
Right.
It's a communication. It's it's
Hmm.
it's like a meeting, right? And it's definitely like that. It's a healing meeting. Okay, I like to look at it like that. And like aside from big events, like I was like, for example, the Thursday one, like big parties or something, other than that, if you book appointments with me, one of my things is I don't do readings with multiple people in one place. If you want a reading with me, it's
Hmm.
going to be one-on-one. For couples, I don't care if you're married or you're, just if you're married or dating, one-on-one, one-on-one, because I'm not trying to be blamed for what I am seeing in the cards and what I'm trying to relate, right? And maybe I'm seeing something that the other person doesn't know about, okay?
Hmm.
So I'm not
Yep.
trying to, stir the pot, okay? So there's reasons why I do things and there's reasons why I don't, okay? And so those are one of the things. If you want a reading, one-on-one, because like you said, it's a complete therapy session type. Like it's not like therapy, but yes, it's like a therapy session. It actually can be a lot deeper than
Yeah.
therapy. I've taken therapy myself, for many years, and sometimes, a lot of the times, these tarot cards, there's just deeper guidance, and all of a sudden, within like 30 minutes, there's this deep conversation that has just taken place that would take you months of therapy to go through. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Now, I'm not saying don't go to therapy. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that that is the difference that I have seen myself
Hmm.
personally. So that's
Hmm.
totally right on. Like I like that you said that.
Yeah.
Well, I think, like I said, we write spiritual prescriptions. So we look at you from a spiritual standpoint, and we whatever messages we download, whatever message spirit shows us. And I like the fact that you're mindful of not having a husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend in the same reading. Just
Yeah.
imagine if you say, "Hey, did you know that your husband's been having an affair for 2 weeks or
Yeah.
whatever?" I mean, just
Like, yeah, like
something
what am I gonna
stupid like
do?
that,
Like
right? But
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that protects first the client, and
Mhm.
then also protects you, the person, the reader.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
I think that's important that we are mindful of that when we do our
Exactly.
readings for whoever it is. So I appreciate
Of
that.
course.
But tell us a little bit more about what you do, what kind of services you provide, so that when we go to your Instagram or when we go to your website, we can expect to see this and make an appointment to get a reading from you. What kind of services do you provide that you can share with us, please?
So the services I provide, I do tarot readings. They range from 15 minutes to an hour. I also do oracle cards, but usually, to be honest, with the tarot readings, I do incorporate oracle cards. So they kind of just come hand in hand. There is no separate like appointment to make. A reading is a reading. You're going to get tarot and oracle. Or if you don't want like oracle, or you just want oracle, like whatever it is, the client, the client will let me know. They will tell me. So
Hmm.
they'll tell me what they want. So yes, I do readings. I do card readings. I also do healing sessions with my sound bowls. I have quartz crystal sound bowls. I have all seven for all chakras and all energy centers of our bodies. And I also do just normal meditation sessions for, sound healing. It doesn't have to be for chakras because you're already going to get your chakras in there because those are what the bowls are for. So it
Hmm.
doesn't
Hmm.
have to
Hmm.
be dedicated to a specific thing. If you don't want it to be, I don't have to. I can generalize it if needed. I can also, more in person with my dowsing rods, I can also help to see and understand if you do have any energy centers that need to be healed or are off balance. Those do help me.
Hmm.
Again, that's more in person, however, not so much online. But yeah, those are all the things that I offer. I do also make candles for anyone who needs it. You just let me know, hit me up for whenever they are made to order. So yes, we can always get into chit chat about that.
Can you make one with the flavor of whiskey? Sorry, that was a
No,
stupid
no,
joke.
no.
I'm sorry.
Not
Can
unless
you
you want fire burning some down.
That's true. That's true. Your sessions that you talked about, anywhere from 10 minutes to a little more than an hour, sometimes longer, right?
Yes, they can definitely go longer, especially the shorter readings. They could definitely range a little bit longer, but that's okay. I mean, it happens a lot. It happens more, it's more common than you think. So, yeah.
Mm. You can do meetups as well, video chat, email, online, in person, and by phone.
Yes, it's a Zoom or I think it was Google Duo, but now I think they changed it to Google Meet, it's called.
Oh,
But
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
so those are the two video options for me through Zoom, and the payments are all through either Venmo or in cash if it's in person, obviously.
Venmo.
So
Okay.
yeah, so my
okay?
Venmo, and my Venmo is Annie Galustian. So I mean, again, those are all just things that I send you once you become the client and we're going for the reading. So those are all things that come within it. So there's never going to be a question of, oh, how do I do this? How do I do that? Once we're in contact, everything's going.
Cool. And I have to say, we'll get back to that. The reason why I was drawn to your profile, I was looking for tarot readers, oracle card readers, and it just so happened your profile popped up, and I clicked on your profile and I saw one of your reels, and then I started to watch the second one. After the third one, I was like, man, there is this, and I think I told you about how I felt yesterday or the day before. There is
Mhm.
this energy about you
Yeah,
that it's like this, and again, forgive me for being I don't want to sound offensive, but there's this energy about you, the person that's reading, the person that I see on the screen, the person that is doing the work. You have this such a excitement about what you do, such an excitement about reading, such the energy is like is almost childlike, uh, like bewildered, like man, this is so cool. I want everybody to see what I'm doing. I want everybody to see this. Everybody should see this. Everybody needs to see this. And I think it went from there. And I said, you know what? I need to give this lady. I need to give this woman a message and see if we can have her come on and be our guest. Because I try and follow my intuition, and I let that guide me to which profile I clicked on. Jordan was the same way. I saw his artwork and said, this dude is awesome. His work is awesome. And now understanding more about what he has to go through to create one piece, um, as well as with you, your work is awesome.
Yeah,
yeah,
And
who
there
knew that
are
all that
people,
work went into an art piece? That was awesome.
right? Well, think of it too.
Man,
You have all of that work and research and time over years, span of years that you
yeah,
had to put in to do right where you are now,
yeah. A lot of
yeah,
truth.
to be able to
true.
do what you're doing now, and to
Exactly.
have that confidence
Yep.
to be around others in the community, online here, on Instagram, over 600 reels, if I'm not mistaken, 600
Yeah.
posts on your Instagram, goes to show that the work was done, the research was done, the time was given, the energy is being given. Chris, I'm going to give up in a little bit. It's going to be your turn too. But I think it's important that the work that Jordan does, that the work that you do, that we get new eyes on who you are, on who Jordan is, the products, the services you provide. I think it's important that something like our community and something like our replays be put out there to a whole different market. Because after tonight, I don't want to make promises to anyone, but after tonight, I can guarantee you there's at least one person who was in our live tonight that said, I got to go check Annie out. She said
Thank
something that hit
you.
me and sparked me. She does candles. And you know what? Sound bowls? I've always wanted to learn about that. I need to learn about that. Well, how do you find Annie? Simple. Go to her website. It's the link is in her bio on Instagram. AIM readings, I believe in healings, right?
Yes.
Intuitive readings and healing. Intuitive moments of readings and healing. I want to make sure I get that correct. Okay, we covered all of that. The what I had down. I got a few more notes. You got about one more page. We're going to be talking about someone special after this. All right. So, Grizz, I'm going to go cough my lungs out again. I'm going to leave you with this.
So clear.
Annie, if you would share with us what inspired you to do this type of work.
So
So
I,
kind of like your origin story, okay?
Yeah.
all right. So I completely went through a path where I just lost myself. I lost just an entire like thought of what I believed in, self-identity. I went down a path of drugs, alcohol. I was abusing it a lot. There was just a lot going on. I went down a very dark path. I'm just gonna put it at that. And so I just kind of found my way. I can't explain it. I really truly believe, and this is how I believe, as you know, that it's like spiritually guided
Yeah.
because I don't know how it happened. It just happened. I just, one day, I just started kind of being like, I can't do this anymore. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What is it? What is it that needs to change, right? So I went through this process, and then years later, um, I was, actually, let me actually back up. And then so I actually in the process, I went through this battle of because I grew up from a Christian family, right? So everyone is Christian and everyone, is of that background. And I never really felt connected. Yeah, I know I have no, I have nothing against going into church. I've gone to Bible studies. I've done all of that, right? So, um, but I never really felt connected, I never really felt that. What I feel now is definitely, compared to now, I felt nothing. Okay. Like just saying it,
Yeah.
bluntly. I mean, I'm just being honest, but, I was just in such a place of confusion. And I just knew that I believed in something bigger. I believed, and when I didn't know, I believed in the stars and the universe. I believed in, the moon and the sun. I believed in all of, the things I cannot see, feel, and touch. When I was a little kid, and I'm talking about a little kid, in like elementary school. Um, Before I went to public, I was in a private Christian school, and then my mom thankfully took me out of it. That's a whole entire story in itself. And yes, so I went public, and then when I was in the public schools, somewhere around that time, when I was in the public school, I was actually trying to talk to spirits. I was in my room without anybody knowing because I thought that what I'm doing is so fucking wrong, right? I was like, and I just, that's how I was, brought up, right? It's so wrong, it's like, it's evil and you're bringing in evil and all of those misconceptions were in my head as a child, obviously, right? So I was literally like in my room. Everyone thought I was sleeping and I had a candle. And like I'm a little fucking kid, okay? I found this shit, okay, based on word of mouth, okay? I didn't even know what I was doing. Okay, now when I'm talking about it, obviously, yeah, but at that time I didn't know. I didn't have the sense of what I was doing, but I was doing it, it was really funny. Like I wasn't making a circle or anything, but I was sitting down, I had the candle, and I was reaching out, I was doing my thing, whatever I was doing. And there's a story, I'm not going to say it. I've never actually said my physical experience, that there is a spiritual life ever out loud to anyone. And I just feel like I'm going to keep that to myself for now. But there, oh,
Yeah, I
Okay,
believe that was
I'll
meant
say it. No,
specifically for
I'll
you.
say it. Yeah,
You
no, I'll
sure?
say it. Yeah, I'll
Okay,
say
hold
it.
on. We need to do a disclaimer. I don't know what you're about to say, but if there's anyone that's triggered by something that you may not understand, now would be the good time, the best time to tap that little X in the corner of your screen, and you can come back in 5 minutes. All right, I just
Yes,
want to put that out there.
No, you gotta be open. You might never know.
yes.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the first, everybody, from Annie G. So, what
Wait, this
happened?
is this is another first for our stream tonight. We had two firsts. We had the art from Jordan, which was our first, and we're gonna have another first with Annie. Oh my God. Okay, all
Man,
right,
yeah, I
we're
have
ready.
like sweaty palms over here. I don't know if you guys can see it. But yes, so it wasn't one time I would do this spiritual work. So one of the times I was doing it, I started getting excited and liking it. So I didn't wait until I was, everyone was sleeping and I was supposed to be in bed, right? Bedtime. So my mom was in the kitchen of our apartment. I don't remember where my dad was, but my mom specifically, I remember she was in the kitchen. Our kitchen it was like a hallway, and my bedroom was at the end, right? And it was like a hallway, and then it cut off right here for the kitchen. So my mom's in there, okay? And I'm doing my thing, and I was laying down. I was laying down, and I felt like I was floating, but I didn't think I was actually floating. I didn't think I was actually levitating. Now I know how crazy this sounds, and this is why I've never said it out loud, because I realize how it sounds. When I opened my eyes, okay, it was from my mom saying, Annie, what are you doing? I opened my eyes and I felt myself fall onto the floor and I said, ow.
Oh my
And
God.
in my head, and my mom just looked at me shocked. Until today, I think she saw it and she doesn't want to admit it. And I think she just conveniently just wants to ignore it. I do think that she saw it because of the look the way she was looking at me. And I said, "Oh, nothing." And I went to my room. I went to my room and I closed the door and I was like, just so confused. I
What
was
just
like, I was like, how did I get there? I'm like, how did I get from my room to the hallway by the kitchen for my mom to like, I'm like, how did I get there? And then I was like, what just happened? And I didn't realize what was happening until obviously nowadays, obviously I have a better understanding. I didn't realize it, but me falling down, that really scared me. And that scared me because I knew what happened, right? I knew I was in the air. And that really put a fear inside of me. And I was like, oh, what did I do? I was like, because
oh,
again, it was like, it's those fears that are put into you, right? So I was like, what did I do? Like. But that was me putting my first toes in as a little kid. And of course, I was basically, taken away from that, growing up, and I completely lost my way. And me losing my way caused me a lot of heavy drinking and using and abusing drugs, alcohol, everything, right? So that really, I really till today, I feel like that confusion of me losing myself is what caused me to do all of that. And
Go ahead. You can go
um,
ahead.
right? And so I actually started kind of forcing myself to read the Bible a little bit, even though I knew I didn't connect with it. But what did that do? It connected me back with my spiritualism. It connected me back with who I really am. Okay. People might think that's crazy and like, oh, how dare you connect that to or something? How dare you say like you were guided? No, it's not about that. It's about the path of me finding myself and who I really am, right? And that's my path, whether people like it or not. That was my path. And I mean, and I mean this in a loving way, it doesn't matter how it makes other people feel. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because that's my path.
Hmm.
It
right.
is what it
Right.
is. That's my experience, and no one can take that away
Hmm.
from me. And and I think that's beautiful. And honestly, all the hardship and fucked up shit that I've been through, it made me who I am today. and I would never change it. I would never, if I could go back and change all the bad mistakes, all the bad decisions, all the stupid, like, all the like really bad things that happened, I wouldn't. Because I wouldn't be this Annie today. I would be someone different,
Mhm.
and I don't know who that person would be. You know what I mean? So
Well,
I really
you talk
truly,
about going back and changing.
Yeah.
It would be great to go back,
Yeah.
but honestly, you know what you know now, but what you knew then, you didn't know whether it was something that was right. You know, whether it was something that you maybe should not have been doing. But the
exactly,
curiosity alone. So this is what I've been seeing since you've been sharing your story. I see this. It's a crystal for sure. It's gray in color, and it's got little specks of black in it, and little specks of gray, and little specks of white in it. And it's more like a tower. So like this, more like a tower, like this. And as you're telling your story over the years, I see little bits and pieces coming off of this tower.
like an
Little
onion.
bits and pieces coming off. Well, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like an onion being chipped away to
Right.
present this beautiful, beautiful crystal, this beautiful being, this person who you are today, which is part of your energy when you read, which is part of the energy when
Thank
you
you.
help clients.
Mm-hmm.
It's all that little chipping away of who Annie was because we all go through it. I've been through it. I'm
Yeah.
still being chipped away,
Yes, we
but we
always
get
are. It's
chipped
the whole
away.
process of life. The second it stops is when we stop breathing. That's how I feel.
Never ending. It's a
Yeah,
journey all the way.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
yeah. But I mean, like I said, I don't want to talk about religion, but there are people who are tarot readers, so oracle card readers, who are mediums and psychics as well, but their higher source is God. So, you know, even in the Bible, it talks about spiritual gifts, discernment, the touch, the healing touch.
Yeah.
There's so
Exactly.
many gifts.
Oh yeah.
The gifts of the Spirit, the gift of speaking in tongues, which
Hmm.
I grew up
But
as a
people
Christian
only
and a
pay
Catholic.
attention to the part of the Bible that it talks
Right.
about, the evil energy and messing with that energy. I don't remember which scripture it is, but they only focus on that one part instead of the bigger picture. Why? Because it's only that one part that justifies their thoughts. Because if they look at the bigger picture, it's not going to,
Yeah.
It is
right?
man's belief and then man's interpretation of what man thinks is right and what man thinks is wrong. And what I think is right has to be right for everybody else. And what I think is wrong has to be wrong for everybody else. But God would not have created us to have our own individual personalities, our own
Exactly.
individual minds, our own individual traits.
Yep.
If we all were meant to think alike, then we'd all look alike. Just
Yeah.
imagine if you had 9 billion people look like this guy right here. I don't think I want to be in that world.
Yeah,
I
like
don't
our
even like.
uniqueness, our identity, that's all what makes this life beautiful, this world
Mhm.
beautiful. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like through all the hardships, but that's what makes us us. We're not supposed to
Hmm.
all be the same, you know?
Right.
Like, no, like
Right.
how boring would that be? Like, you
And,
know, we
and
would
it's
never
like it's like
actually learn outside of ourselves if we were like that.
it's like every reading you did would be exactly the same. The same three cards. Every post you have would be the
Same
exact
thing.
same
Like a
three
broken
cards.
record.
Exactly. And every piece of art that Jordan creates is always the same three tigers, always the same
Imagine.
three flowers or whatever the case is. Imagine living in a world like that.
Yeah.
And
No,
and
thank
it's
you.
it's so cool how Disney even said in one of their movies, yep, infinite possibilities and combinations. In one of their movies called The Incredibles, which this live is not sponsored by Disney, but Incredibles, they talked about the villain told Mr. Incredible, the hero, that if once everybody is super, then nobody is. So if you think about
Yeah.
that, and we lived in a world like that, I don't think I could.
No, thank
I
you.
really don't.
No, thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So that's that's really important that, you know, everybody interprets tarot differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there are some basic guidelines that you have
Every
to follow.
single
I'm sure.
person, you're right, Luca. Every single person reads differently
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
in a different process
Mm-hmm.
and is guided differently. That's
Hmm.
so, I like that you said, I love that you said that because
Yeah.
that's very important for people to understand. What you hear and feel and get from one psychic is not that's going to be the same. You're not going to hear that same message on repeat if
Yeah.
you go to one person and then to another. It's
Hmm.
going to be something different. And sometimes
Hmm.
the question you're asking isn't the message you're getting. Maybe you're asking
Right.
about love, but it's talking to you about your business or a relationship. I
Right.
mean, a business or finances, right? Investments.
Right.
Maybe it's talking to, you know what I mean? You're not always, it's about what you need to hear. It's not about
Right.
what you want to hear. And a lot of people and clients will get angry when they're,
Hmm.
some people get mad, if they
Hmm.
hear something hard or they don't want to accept something. Yeah, so that's important. I like that you brought that up.
And if tarot readers or guided or people who guide others or help others, if we all told you exactly what you wanted to hear,
Oh yeah.
then I don't think we'll be here to help people for a
That's what
long time.
spammers are for. Go to someone who's trying to steal your money then.
Yeah.
Go to someone who's a scammer, you know? Because that's not what
Yeah.
we're here for.
No. This community, this group, and there are several readers that were in tonight. Stacy Michelle, who designs jewelry, she is one of our moderators. She also reads tarot. Grizz is learning to read tarot. I want to learn. Purple Rain 111 also reads tarot, and several other people read tarot that are in the community. And everybody reads differently. Everybody has different energies. Everybody has different understandings.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different interpretation. And
Mhm.
everybody has a different delivery.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to the delivery of it, the message, that is probably one of the most important things when you deliver that message. And like you said, it may not be the message of the answer or the question that they asked about. But like God said in this Bible, or Christianity, I mean, even when God doesn't answer your prayers, that's an answer in itself. If you're
No, and
asking
it's like
Annie,
sometimes it's not right there. Everyone wants it right then and
yeah,
there, that
right.
that's not how it works. Like,
If
sometimes
I
it takes
if I'm
time for the
asking
message
Annie
to be
about
clear.
a exactly, if I'm asking Annie about a love connection, but instead she gives me about my finances, I'm like, that's not what I came here for. But that's what needs to be cleared up before the love connection can happen.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, and a lot of the times you'll be surprised actually how common it is. And whoever has actually dealt with these kind of clients will know. There are people who will actually sit there and just be like, okay, can I ask again about this? They'll try to force the answer and want
Hmm.
one more question. And they think they're being like slick by wording it differently,
Right.
like the question.
Right.
But like, I mean, we're not, obviously we know what you're asking. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's like they're trying to force it. One more question, one more question, one more question, one more question. It's like, you got to take control of that reading, like
Yeah. Yeah.
when that happens. But there's people who just want to, well, they want you to read the cards
Hmm.
until they hear that one thing that they came to hear. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And that's not
Yep.
how it is, like, I'm sorry. That's not how the
Exactly.
spirits are working. It's not
Exactly.
how channeling works.
No. No. Okay. I got a couple more questions. Then we're gonna move on to something a little bit different, but still with Annie. Annie, I always ask my guests, and you can say pass or not. I don't think I'm gonna ask the question. I'll message you it later. The question I was going to ask, but I won't ask you that question. Let's see. Question: siblings in your family that have similar experiences or that are gifted? Any siblings or family members? And you
So
don't
I
need
do
to
have
name them.
family members. I don't unfortunately have any siblings, which is completely boring. I've always wished for having it, though. I wish I had a sibling of some kind, but yeah. But I do have family. However, so my family, like I have a bunch of aunts who have been in divination, who are who know people who are in divination, and it's more like coffee and tea readings. But
Mm,
they never actually opened up to any of us about it, like any of us, me, my cousins, nobody. And when they found out, like, because I'm not like very open with my family because I don't know how they feel about it, about like my tarot reading and spiritual work. So I'm very limited on how much I share, right? Just because I don't want to be judged, and I don't want to cause drama or issues, right? So, I just limit it how much I say. And they have recently started finding out more and more about what I'm doing, and I've been opening up more and more. And all of these aunts all of a sudden have been in divination. All of a sudden, all of this, like, where were you? Like, where were you when I
well,
was going through it? And I was,
you mentioned to me yesterday or the other day when we did a practice video call about your background being, if I may say it,
yeah, of course, yes, I'm Persian Armenian. So,
Persian
there's
Armenian.
definitely,
So,
yes.
excuse me, Persian Armenian, very big gypsy culture.
Yes, yes. And we actually have huge in our culture, like lineage. I mean, going back centuries old, but it's not that shared and passed down because
Hmm.
our culture is also very big in Christianity. And so it's been subsided. So
Hmm.
it
Yep.
has not, that's the unfortunate thing about it. No one really talks about it, but that's more of the like Armenian side. And with Iranians, we are more brought up to it. Like with Iranian cultures, it is more accepted. It is more
Hmm.
like, they don't have these like preconceived like fears with it. They are a lot more open with it. And, they're used to like, if they hear that you do divination or do some kind of readings, they'll go to you. They'll be like, oh, okay, is it a good person? Yeah, all right, cool. Are they legit? All right, let's go. They won't be like, oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. How do you feel about that? You know what I mean? Like, and
Hmm.
talk to each other.
Yep.
So they're a lot more open to the idea of the spiritual guidance. So that's for sure.
I find that people who are looking for help, people looking for answers, I think like in anybody's life, when you reach a certain point in your life where there's no more bottom anymore, there's no more
Exactly.
floor anymore, and you need the answers for something in your life. You need the answers for your life, and the universe, God, guides, spirit guides, they put you in front of someone who does the work, type of work that you do, who provides services like you do, because that's what happened with me. I was looking for answers about love, and the universe said, "Oh no, no," because there was so much more in this guy that needed to be changed
Yeah,
before that love can come in.
exactly. Exactly.
And so that was a changing point in my life. And there were several people who were put in my life at that time. Grizz was one of them. Stacy was the other one. That really, really made changes in my life. And for those of you who are watching, those of you who will be watching the replay on our YouTube channel, if you're looking for help, if you're looking for, okay, Jordan, thanks for joining us, Jordan. Thank you so much.
Bye, Jordan. It
I'll
was
message
really
you
nice
later.
seeing your work. You're amazing.
If you are looking for guidance, if you're looking for answers, if you tried all of the traditional ways to seek some help, seek some healing, seek some resolution in events in your life, in happenings that are going on currently in your life, if there's one person that you want to look for is maybe someone in our community like Annie or like Stacy or like Grizz or someone else, even myself. That's what we're here for. We're here to help. We are human just like you. I get a cold just like you. I know Annie got a little bit of hoarse voice just like you. We get tired, we get sick, we bleed just like everybody else. We're not any
We
different,
sure
we're not any
do.
special, but for some reason, we've been trusted a little bit more with the guides, with answers, with knowing how to read tarot cards, with learning about interpretation. And this is why we're here tonight. This is why we're here as a community. This is why we are forming our group, our family, our tribe. It's been called. Um, but with that, we're going to move on. It is now time for our third special guest. And before we start that, Grizz, did you have any questions or any other input for Annie?
Not right now. I got a little
Okay,
sorry
cool.
interrupted. The little ones came in.
It's okay. Oh, it's okay. It's all right. So we are going to be talking about something very special to Annie. I asked her to share that with us tonight. Again, a little disclaimer: if this is something that you're uncomfortable with, anything doing with spiritualism or spirits or entities, it is not a bad thing, I assure you. But if it's something that you're not comfortable with, now is a good time to go click out of the video and join us back in about a few minutes. Okay? Now that that's been said, we want to make sure we set the right tone for our next guest, okay, Annie? So I hope
Aw, I
that wasn't offensive
appreciate
at all.
that. You hear that, Donna?
All right, so while you said the name, I think it's time to introduce our friend. I'll leave that to you. It's time to introduce our friend. Your friend.
Let's do it.
Whenever Donna, that song comes on, that old Richie Valens song.
Oh,
Okay, say hi. So before we get started or you guys say anything, I just want to I don't know if it'll happen if you guys talk or not, so just in case. This is her motion ball. It's a motion light. If I press this
cat ball.
button, if I press, yeah,
Like a
cat
cat
ball.
ball?
So
Okay.
there's a lot of ghost hunters who use this. There's a button up here. Once I press it, if it moves, you have to actually move it for it to light up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you see it lighting up? Yeah, yeah. Can
I
you see
saw it
it?
go blue
Yes.
or
Yeah.
green.
So it's lighting up
Okay.
different colors. Okay, so that's basically something that she uses a lot. If she wants to make herself known. So if you do see that light up while we're here, that is just her saying hi.
Cool. Okay. Introduce Donna to us, please.
All right, everybody. So this is Donna. Her full name is Donna Borgerac. So I have my notes here. I have a lot of little fun stuff to talk to you guys about today. We both do together. And I'm
Cool.
very excited about it. And I'm gonna actually just move this more in the front over here. That was me moving it, you guys. Can you still hear me okay?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, all right, cool. Okay, so I just don't want to get sidetracked. She is fully 111, okay, her age. She's 111 years old. She did pass away when she was 50 years old. And apparently you can age kind of like an alchemist in the next life. And
Mm.
that is what has happened with her, apparently. There's still things I'm understanding about that, but it's always so exciting. I absolutely love it. And let's see some more things. She is from England. She was born in France, and she moved to England when she was a little child. And she sailed so she was around in World War II out there. So I don't know if people know this, but I am going to get a little, my followers will know this if any of them watch this or are here. I did little hints of it. The Queen Mary is going to be a little discussion, which will be a little Halloween fun topic here.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's a popular ship, but she has links with that. So
Wow.
in 1945, she came here on the Queen Mary.
Wow.
Um, yeah, so I mean, not here. It was in New York because back then the Queen Mary was actually very helpful during the war. So it was going from New York to England, back and forth. And so yes, so I'll get into that.
They used it
So
as a hospital ship, didn't they? Didn't they use Queen Mary as a hospital
they
ship?
did. I'm gonna get into that too. I'm gonna talk about that when I talk about misconceptions and stuff too.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I mean. She basically when she passed away some way somehow she was reincarnated and she got her spirit went into a rose bush. Okay, and when
Mm.
her spirit was in a rose bush for a very long time, out in Canada, and I don't know how she found her way to Canada but she did, and she did live out here in her life in LA, but how long and exactly where I'm not sure, and she had a lot of back and forth from LA to Canada in her spirit life as well. And, until she came here, that was this case as well. So I think that's really interesting. There's that link. There's a lot of really interesting, fun facts. And
Mm.
so let me see what I've written down. I don't want to go on tangents too much, so that's why I have my notes.
Cool. Thank you.
I could talk about this forever, so I have to tame myself, you guys.
We might have to
So
have you come back a second time then.
Man. So yeah, so one some things that she does like, she loves classical music. She hates rap for some reason. When I do play rap and hip hop and stuff like that, she's not a big fan, but she loves Glenn Miller, which I found out I had never heard of Glenn
Mm.
Miller before her, and I found out he was really big and popular for that time actually. And
Yes.
I was like,
Yeah.
well, I know Frank Sinatra. Do you like Frank Sinatra? We can, I jam to him. I was like yeah, but yeah, she really likes classical music, which I think is really fucking dope. It's pretty cool. Um, and she connects with my cat a lot. And she had a cat in her life, a little white fuzzball.
Mm.
Yeah, with like a smushed face. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's really cool. And yeah, so she adores roses, obviously, because she was a rose bush,
Right.
um, and she really likes vanilla scones. She loves so every day she gets Earl Grey tea with me. Every day she does like that. She really likes crumpets. She gets crumpets every single day. We're out of it right now, so until grocery shopping happens, you know. Sorry, babe. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
it's avocado toast. Avocado toast to the crumpets come in. Sorry. Right?
right, yes. And it's just a matter of, getting to know each other. So she has that. She talks a lot with the dowsing rods. I do have dowsing rods, copper ones that I do talk to her with. She really likes to communicate with that. I have some little gadgets here that I'm going to get into to show you guys the communication ways that I try to get with her. I do also have some apps too that I use, like a spirit box is also on my
Hmm.
app. I also recently got this really cool app where um, it's like a spirit box, but it reads words. Like I can hear her if she can manipulate it into me reading what it says, which is really fucking awesome and helpful for
Spirit
me.
Talker? Is that Spirit Talker?
Yeah, you know about it? I just got that. Yes. I'm loving it. It is so helpful. And that's also why I was so sad that I couldn't use my computer on Instagram Live, because I was hoping to be able to open those things up on my phone as we do this. So I was like, no. But it's okay. But yeah, so um, she really, really is like crumpets. It takes her back to her home time. So she really likes those. And I did ask her like if she went through a lot of hardship, like finding food. Did she have to go into like war or like what were they called? Like the housing for when there's like really crazy war, like they hide out. I asked her, did she have to do that, and she did say yes, they did. And they didn't have too much of a hard time finding like the necessities and food. I think she did come from good money, so I think that that had a lot to play in it as well.
Hmm.
So I think that they were comfortable. So I think that for the most part, just to, the necessities, like I said, they were able to have those things. So that I thought that was cool to like learn about her. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I mean, she's from 1911. And she traveled, I told you guys, 1945. So she was 34 years old when she traveled on the Queen Mary and to US from England.
Wow.
And yeah, so I think that was really cool. That's basically the age I'm at right now. So I thought that was really fucking awesome. I'm like, all right, cool. I feel you,
Will
girl. I'm like,
will you be traveling soon then?
right, right. Oh, we'll get into that. I don't know. But yeah, and so so it's been 77 years. Yeah, so it's been quite a while. So, I mean, it took a lot of math and a lot of getting to know her, for me to
Hmm.
understand all of this, that, I'm flowing out, making sound so easy right now. It was not easy. When you're communicating and trying to get in touch with the spirit world, you have to do your homework afterwards, right? I
Hmm.
moved the ball. Oh, see, I moved the ball and it still didn't light up. So I just want that to be a sign that it really has to be moved. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, and when you're trying to connect with the spirit world, it's like a puzzle, right? So you have to do your homework. So,
Yeah.
you find out little bits and pieces of information, and then you go and you try to do like historical research or research that you can about those bits and pieces to understand the full story of what is trying to be led to you or guided to you or the message, right? So there's a lot of that goes into it. It's not just like, oh, you sit down and you understand. Again, it's not movies, you know?
Mm.
It's effort from both ends,
Right.
communicating for them to come over to us to communicate. It's not easy. It's yes, they're spirits, but it's not like, oh, hey, what's up? It's a telephone. What up, Annie? How
Yeah,
are
I know, right?
you? Like, that's not
Right.
how it works. Yeah. It would be great if it did, but it's not.
Right.
you know and so there's all those things to like remember. But yes, in her life she was a powerful medium, which really makes sense as to why she is now in her spirit life, so willing and wanting to be a spirit guide to send out that guidance, and that will and power and that help. And I love that because she offers me a lot of protection in my spirit work from the spirits, right? From whatever energies that I cannot see, because they are all around us. And that's why, I
Hmm.
believe in having protective measures. And so, me knowing that she is here on the other side, I have that little other safety net. It means so much to me that, because I look at her like a sister. We're not like, it's not just like a friend thing, or like, oh,
Right.
this is just my doll just sitting there. No, there's an every single day respect, communication, and love that happens.
Hmm.
There's a bond, and that's what it's about. That's what it is. And I think that's what's really cool about it. But yeah, I
Can I
mean,
ask you a
she's been a
question?
lot of, yeah, of course.
Does Donna help you in your readings, like
I
with
don't
clients?
know, but I do tell her that she's it's more than okay for her to come and send me her energy. I let her know that, and you have to be specific, okay? So you can't just say that. You have to say Donna, or like the spirit you're talking to. You have to be specific when you're working
Hmm.
with the spirit world. I cannot emphasize that anymore. You cannot generalize your words and your work. You need to be specific. You need to be careful. Okay. And that's why before we do spirit work and like, spells and stuff, there's a lot of practice that goes behind that. Before we sit down and do that ritual or that spell or that crafting, there's practice, that we did, making sure everything is as it needs to be for when we come in
Hmm.
and do it. There's no distractions and everything is specific. That's why, it's very, very, very important because if you're general, what if you're talking to with something else? If I don't say Donna,
Right.
what if I'm talking to something else then? Right? What if I'm letting something else in?
Hmm.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. No, my friends.
Right.
No, no,
Right.
no. Not with Annie G. So I specifically say, Donna, I allow you to come in and send me your energy and be with me. I allow you to help this person if they need it. I definitely tell her.
So without, and I really hope this is not offensive to Donna or to you, but
No, no.
Donna is actually like um, another quill in your arsenal, like another tool that you can use to help you um, with your work.
I wouldn't say a tool. I would say she is one of my spirit guides that I could see and actually know and see physically, and
Okay.
experience physically, because there is a big difference. Because my other spirit guides, I can feel them, but I do not have that physical encounter of talking to them, having them manipulate things, right? Nor do I allow it. Okay. Let me get into something actually about spirit vessels. So before, like anyone, if you are out there thinking about bringing spirit vessels into your house, it's really important to remember, because I do see that they're really hype, like, they're becoming like this thing, but I don't think people realize what they're doing. Number one, you're going to see thousands and thousands and thousands of different types of vessels, whether it's a doll, watch, a bracelet, a necklace, okay, of vessels out there online. Not all of them are vessels, okay? These are just objects, okay? So a lot of the times. So you need to be careful of where it is, who it is, do your research, talk to the person, all of those things, right? All of those things. When you actually find the vessel that you are interested in, read any kind of information or details. Talk to the person who has that vessel. Find out anything and all that you can that that person knows about the vessel. Know what you are getting yourself into, what kind of an energy or spirit that is, because there's people who are okay with negative energies. There are okay people who aren't. Like we were talking about, everyone's different. There's people who work with demons. There's people who do not.
Hmm.
There, it is
Hmm.
what it is. There are people who are out there who do that. There is, and it's fine. It's okay. You know, everyone is their own person. Okay,
Right.
but that's that. You know who you are. If you're not okay with it, then again, do your research, do your background, do your story, do your homework. Okay, and now once once people realize, okay, now this is something I'm comfortable with, this is, I'm feeling the energy in and throughout, I'm connecting with it, I'm bringing it home, right? Okay, you're bringing it home. Are you just going to put it up on a shelf and collect dust? Are you
Mm.
actually going to treat it like a spirit, or like as if it's just a doll? Or if it's just a bracelet, or whatever the vessel is, right? How are you looking at it? How are you going to treat it? Because if that's how you're going to treat it, don't bring it. Because then you're probably eventually going to experience hauntings. Okay?
Mm.
And that it's just, it's the game. That's just how it works, right? So um it's a respect. If a spirit is not, if you're not respecting that spirit, why should the spirit's not going to respect you? You know what I mean? They can feel your intention and your energy and your,
Yep.
if you're showing respect but you're not internally respecting, they'll know. Okay, this isn't something you can, it's not like you're like, I don't know, your teacher who you can lie to. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
that's not the case. So it's an energy exchange, it's a respect exchange. So people need to understand it's a responsibility. So are you willing to bring this vessel home and respect it? Give it the
Mm.
respect that it deserves, that it's needed. Okay. And another thing, before you bring it home, once it's in your hands coming home, once it comes into your home, ground rules. Ground rules. Okay. What are you okay with? What is okay and not okay? What are they allowed to do? What are they not allowed to do? Where are they? Are there any rooms they're not allowed to go into? Is there anything, are they allowed to move things? Are they allowed to manipulate things? Okay.
Mm.
Ground rules are so important. Like everything I'm saying actually is so important, honestly. Like all of these
Ground
things
rules
are
and
just, it's like safety. It's important.
boundaries.
Okay, not
Boundaries.
just boundaries, rules. There's set rules, because with spirits, you've got to be like that, right? You have to. There's set rules. Like with Donna, I love her, right? As positive and loving as she is, she's not allowed in any other bedrooms or bathrooms other than ours. Okay, that's one of the rules, right? So it's like whatever like you are comfortable with, it's setting those rules, or like you said, Luca, boundaries. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
it's like set rules. It's more than boundaries. It's like it needs to be set right there. You know what I mean? Like it needs to be strong. And that's very important, especially if you're dealing with negative spirits, but I'm not even going to get into that. Okay. Okay. But
Yeah.
yes, all of those things, it's very important. And I just wanted to like say that because I understand that, it may seem like fun and great, and it's amazing. It is
Hmm.
amazing. Like I don't have siblings, so she's like my sister I've never had, you know what I mean? And she is also like a crone energy who is so willing and wanting to like pass on this guidance and messages and to teach, and I couldn't be more thankful for to, than that, you know what I mean, to her. And it's like, yes, there's a lot of goods if you take those precautions, if you know what you're doing. If I didn't know what I was doing, I wouldn't be comfortable bringing in a vessel into my life, okay? That's just how it is. Because when I leave the house, I tell her, you can come with me in spirit. Come with me. Every time I go, you can either stay home and protect the house or you can come with me in spirit. You know what I mean? It's a
Hmm.
bond, it's a relationship, and it's important.
So maybe this is just me just thinking out wild, or I don't want to be offensive to anyone, to
No,
Donna
not
or
at all.
yourself. So I want to make sure I'm mindful of that. But while I'm hearing you talking about the connection between Donna and yourself, I think part of our conversation the other day was, do you think there was a past life connection with the both of you? And the reason why I asked you that is because tonight, as you were talking, I don't know, did you see me look that way while you were talking?
I think I did.
Lindsay, hey Lindsay, how are you, Lindsay? Okay, so I would look that way. And that way goes to my garage. That way goes out into my garage. And it's the door's closed. But I don't know what it was that way that made me look that way. But as I look that way and I'm listening to you speaking, I hear a woman's voice said, yes, we were connected. She was my valet, or like a woman in waiting, you,
Oh,
Annie.
oh, that's
And
interesting.
in a past life, your connection was you cared for her, and she loved your genuineness. She loved how much you really, truly, genuinely cared for Donna in that past life. That it became full circle for the two of you again to be connected. And again, Annie is caring for Donna.
My gosh.
Annie, Annie is that lady in waiting again for Donna,
Oh
because in
my
that past life,
gosh.
the connection was beautiful.
Oh my
And
God.
she loved it so much that she is now back together in the connection with you.
Oh my
Donna, if
God.
that was you that I saw in my house, if that was you that was trying to tell me something, and I don't know if it'll happen, I'm going to put myself out there on the line, but if that was you, would you make that cat ball light up?
Can you make it light up if you just went to Luca? Would that be okay? Would it be okay? Can you make it light up if that's okay? Just a disclaimer, she never, ever, ever till today has done it on me asking her to.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
And she's
I'm
also
okay. I'm okay
never
if
made
it
it light
doesn't
up
light up.
during any of my readings either.
It's okay. I'm all right with her not, if that
Well,
ball
if you
doesn't light
want,
up.
you know what that is, all right? And you know you could make that light up for Luca. He would really appreciate it. Keep an eye out for it, I
I don't.
guess.
Well, like I said, this is just what I was hearing as I looked that way, and I'm turning back to you, and I'm listening to the connection that you have with Donna, and the setting of boundaries and the ground rules, and the understanding of having a said vessel of your own, the understanding of bringing her with you in spirit. As I'm listening you tell this story, she's telling me the story of how
No.
you were connected with her.
Yes,
So,
she definitely has those capabilities. So different spirits, just like how we're all different people, it's the same thing with spirits, right? There's all these different shapes and sizes of spirits, right? So
mhm,
there's different things, there's something spirits can do that others can't, right? Type of a thing. So one of the things is actually like with the spirit vessels. So not all spirits can like leave their vessels in spirit. Some are just
mm,
stuck and attached to that object. Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. I don't know the little nicks and crannies of that. But I don't understand it, I should say. I don't understand it. Because the more you find out, I was telling you guys this when we were talking in private, the more you find out about the other side and the spirit world, the more you are confused, then the
mm,
more questions you have. And for anyone watching this who does spiritual work, I'm sure they're just like, yes, like that is so true, because I mean, it's just like the more you find out, you're just like, what? How? Wait, hold on. And you're just like, it opens up like thousands of new questions.
yep,
You're like, okay, hold on. Like, it's always like something you weren't expecting, and it's like, whoa,
yep,
okay, hold up a second. And we're not supposed to understand it, right? That's why that's why we're human in this world, in this life,
that's right.
We'll understand it when
That is
we're
right.
spirits,
Yep,
and then we'll be like,
that's right.
oh. So not all of them can actually leave their vessels and separate from them. So she definitely can. So I remember also you guys telling me that like one of you felt like you weren't alone and the other one felt her spirit actually there. I don't remember which one of you was which, but both of you had one of those experiences, and that's definitely. Yes, that she does that. If we are working with people, if she sees like there's someone that is new, like for example, you guys are new, we are new to each other, right? So,
Hmm.
and especially to her, and so she's like, okay, she definitely will go to those people, or that environment beforehand, and just kind of check
Hmm.
them out, check it out. You know what I mean? So it
Hmm.
happens. So if you're saying like you thought maybe you saw her in the corner of your eye or thought that maybe there was some kind of a message being related, that is a capability that she has. Let me put it this way. Donna has all the capabilities.
Okay.
That's one of the cool things. She's really powerful.
Yeah. Can you guys
I
hear me?
love it.
Can you guys hear
Yes,
me?
Chris.
Oh, okay, sorry, because I was
Yes.
playing my microphone. Yeah, that was
Yes, I can hear you.
yeah, when I was when I went into your account to check you out to, try to work the posts, I felt I felt it. I don't really like see or hear, but I feel, and I definitely felt like I was kind of like you said, like someone's watching me, keeping an eye on me, like okay, respect here, you know. I just
Yeah,
it was
yeah, and it's like
weird.
at a completely like a loving, positive place though.
Yeah,
Like she would never like, like what we consider haunt. It's
yeah,
not even like
it
that.
was,
Like it's not even a topic of discussion.
oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
no, like
Oh,
when I looked over that area, so it's just a blank hallway and a door that leads to my garage. So there's nothing there. There's
That's
no
awesome.
AC, there's
Yeah,
no
I mean,
wind or
maybe she
anything like
likes
that.
your
So,
energy, or maybe like when she sees that someone is gifted, or she's able to communicate, like you have mediumship, or you have some
hmm.
kind of qualities that she can relay messages through you or to you. Yeah, she'll like that. She'll go through you because in her life she was a medium, she was a psychic, right? So she likes that she can talk to you about those things and relay
Hmm.
messages. So she'll definitely, yeah, of course, like if she ever does come to you, just feel free and totally comfortable. I promise there's nothing to be
Oh yeah,
afraid of.
no,
Feel free to have a
it was,
conversation with her because maybe she
it
likes
was,
your energy. Maybe she likes your energy because the medium that I work with is my friend. You can find her on Instagram just to say, it's Sahara Healings, and she is awesome. Her name is also Annie. She is amazing, and where I can't go with my mediumship, she helps me with completely. And she's helped me gain a lot of knowledge from Donna. And so yeah, I mean Donna really also liked her energy and would go to her a lot too.
Yeah, no, I
You
just
know,
wanted to
so
make sure I told you, or I made sure I said it, that I didn't sense anything negative.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, it's just one of the things you catch out of the corner of your eye. I do have mediumship, so I can
so
see,
she probably
speak,
likes
hear.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I hope so. I hope she does.
She's
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
probably like,
Energies,
"Ooh, I could talk to you."
yeah. Um, but it wasn't negative at all. I'm not afraid of that kind of stuff anyway, So, um, I'm more curious about it, but there was
Nice.
no way, shape, or form tonight. It was not negative at
That
all. Not at all.
curiosity will only escalate, I promise.
It has in the last 2 years.
Well, with me, I'm starting to find out that I guess I've always had it with me, so I didn't realize it, that I can kind of tell who, like the people, like everybody, almost like a personality, like almost like psychology, because I really like psychology, so I can almost sense what's going on in their
Yeah.
lives. They're feeling who they are, if they're lying or not, kind of thing. So with me, when I was working on, your account, the post, I felt that. And right away to my mind,
Aw.
okay, is she here? What's going on? But
That's
to
really
me,
sweet.
like a
She was
mom,
probably like, "What is this techie stuff? What is
yeah,
this?" She's probably not gonna. She's like, "What is this?"
bright lighting. But so it felt like almost like a teacher vibe, like
Hmm.
not like a mom scoldy vibe, but almost like she was there, kind of like I'm keeping an eye on you, better be nice, kind of thing. Like almost like this like teacher kind of feeling, like
Yeah.
like these are the rules, almost like how you said these are the rules.
Yeah.
This is what you're gonna abide by.
Yeah.
So maybe it's that protect um love that she has towards you or something.
Yeah, yeah. And she knows that I will always love and protect her. It's like an always and forever type of a thing until she chooses to pass on. So, yeah. I mean, if we have time, I can talk more about another doll that I helped pass on, but I do want to talk a little more about some other stuff first
No,
with Donna.
This is
Maybe
pretty
for
I
next
think
time. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe we'll have time. I
no,
don't
we
know.
we are definitely gonna have you come back for sure. We're
yeah,
definitely gonna have you come back.
part two.
But I can say this much. Um, Donna, if I'm hearing correctly, Donna, because you're speaking to me, I can hear it. I can
Oh,
sense you. I can feel you.
we're safe.
Make that ball light up if I'm close, if I'm anywhere close, okay? Um, in your past connection. Um, I don't know if it was because of the time, um, the understanding of having a woman in waiting or a personal attendant, if you will. Uh, it was not acceptable to have that return of energy, that return of that connection between Donna and yourself in that time, because it wasn't something that was sociably accepted.
Yeah.
Today being what it is, more so, where you said she'll check out somebody like checked us out. I know she's checking me out because she wants to make sure that we have the best intentions when it comes to Annie, which I assure you, Donna, we do, and for yourself as well. Um,
I love her for
that
that.
she's able
I
to
love how protective she is.
she's able to return that in kind to you now in spirit.
Oh, thank
She may not
you.
have been
That
able
means
to
so
do it
much.
in the human form, but she can now in her spiritual form. So I hope that made sense, Donna. I hope I read that correctly. I understood that correctly from you.
I love
So
that.
you do have a few other things for us to share, and we'll do that, and then we'll take a break. And I would like to show you. and anybody else who wants to watch a video, or actually a couple of videos. They're less than a minute long, but we'll get into that. While we're taking a little bit of a breather right now, I want to make sure we go back a little bit and say who our guest is tonight. Our guest that we're speaking to tonight is Annie, Aim's AIM Readings on Instagram. Annie's Intuitive Moments of Reading and Healing. You can also find her on her website, I believe she said,
Yeah.
anniesintuitivemoments.com. Go check her out. Calendly, I think, is an app that you click onto to make an appointment. You
Yes.
can check out her services, check out her rates, book a reading from her, book several readings from her. Um, as well as our special guest as well, Donna, who is sitting right there in front of us on the table. And I have to say, I've never um, met someone, I've never met a person who has a doll that is a spirit vessel. I hate to use,
Oh,
I don't know if that's the
wow.
right word, I hate to use the word haunted because she's not there to haunt you or anybody else. But like you
Yeah.
said, I like the way you put it, it's a vessel.
Mhm.
Spirit is a spirit vessel.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly what they are, you know? Yeah. And like there's so much I want to talk about, but like one more thing I do want to do as a disclaimer, like you know how I was saying like with rules and stuff, with child spirits, because that is
Mm,
the old vessel that I me and Donna actually helped pass on was a child spirit. Uh that might have to be a separate video, I don't know. But um but with child spirits, yes, they're loving, they're great, they're kids, but they are confused. They do not
yeah,
know what has happened to them.
yeah,
So they have a very high percentage and a high chance of becoming benevolent spirits. What does benevolent
hmm,
spirits mean? Okay, to the people who don't know, that is what we call the negative spirits. That is what we call hauntings. That is what we call, you know, what we would consider scary. And it can be scary, you know, blankets being ripped off of you. Maybe I've heard scary shit of people like being woken up, being choked in their sleep type of shit. Okay, like there's things, you know, you have to take it seriously. But with child spirits, you have to be careful because if
hmm,
they don't have, there's a lot of extra time that you have to put to show them. They
right,
want their vessels to come with you everywhere. Maybe people will feel weird to take their freaking, you know, vessel to the like work or something, right? You know, like or grocery store. These are things to think about. Child vessels can be very benevolent. And
mm,
imagine basically like a spirit having a tantrum like a child.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a haunting, right? It's not gonna be anything good. So those are all things to think about. If you're not okay with that, maybe just stay away from child spirits. Definitely, for sure. Definitely beware of young spirits. Yes, as vessels. Yeah, that's definitely something that you want to be careful with. Because they're definitely, if you're not willing and able and capable of giving them that extra love and energy and time, maybe something to seriously think about because they're confused and they don't know what happened. And you know what? You
hmm,
might even just give them all the love and energy and time that is needed and that they want. But because they're children, it's not like tantrums, but it's just like they're confused, right? They don't know what's going on. You tell them like those rules and stuff, but they're, you know, it's not like an adult spirit where it's like those rules are set in stone, right?
right,
It's a kid in a sense. So in a
yeah.
sense, they can be mischievous. Okay. And so those are all things to keep in mind. People, everyone who's listening, keep that in
And
mind,
the replay,
please. Just be careful because I don't, you know, yeah, you know, I want you guys to have those beautiful experiences, but at the same time, I want you guys to know what to be careful of. So, like all of you who are out there watching this, wanting to maybe go and have these experiences with vessels, you also know what you're, you know, what to be careful with, what to look out for. You don't just think that this is a game or Hollywood. You know,
hmm,
this is real. This is real life. These are real spirits and vessels that you need to give time and respect to. So yeah, the children, maybe not for the first vessel, if it's your first vessel, your first little rendezvous with spirits, maybe not, what you want to dip your toe in.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely something to talk about. But I do want to get a little bit into the Queen Mary, if that's okay.
Yes. I'm gonna leave you with Grizz for a second. I'm gonna go cough my lung out. I'll be right back.
Go for it. Oh God.
Thanks for understanding.
So maybe,
Should we wait for him? I think
yeah,
we should wait for him.
yeah,
Yeah.
back to Queen Mary. So I kind of have, I guess, some questions. Well, a lot of questions, but so a little confused. To like clear up like what a spirit like vessel is. Like, okay, so is this like an spirit that just kind of almost like decided, almost like, I don't know if I'm using the right word, almost to like to attach to a certain item, or is this?
Exactly. That's exactly what they are. They are attached to the item for whatever reason. And that's exactly, you said it just pinpoint correctly. Yes, like especially like with kids, with the child spirits, young spirits, teenage spirits, they're mainly like you find a lot of them in like vessels like this, like, toys
Oh,
or dolls or something, because these are things that in their life they were attached to. It meant something to them. And so when they passed on, and sometimes, they could have passed on, but like, when someone passes on, we have that like 40 days, or, depending on your culture, it's a different amount of time, but you have that amount of time. And then you have that other like kind of ceremony, because it's like, okay, now after that certain point of time, the spirit has officially moved on to the realm, right? So with children, they don't know that moving on process. They don't know that they can move on, and that's why they get stuck
Right.
sometimes. And
yeah,
it's exactly like you just said, that they get attached. So these items, that's a lot of the times why a majority of the time you'll find like toys and dolls with child vessels, because, or spirits, I should say, I'm sorry, because those things were something that meant something to that kid.
Right.
It's something it likes or something it projected.
absolutely.
And so that's
Yeah,
why. So yeah, so
yeah.
exactly right. They're attached. That's exactly what it is.
That's what we were talking about too a few days ago, about how, a lot of people go shopping antiques. Nothing against it, but I have learned there's a lot of antiques, a lot of things that can have attachments. They bring them home, people don't know, and they start experiencing things. So it's kind of good to know about all that, how to be careful and discern, how to know what's going on. And that's when it's good always calling, your spirit guides to help you out with all that. But
Oh
I'm glad
yeah,
that
for sure.
you're clearing this so people can know everything what's out there. I have so many stories, but like my mother-in-law is she's a medium, and
Oh, nice.
she once found this. I think she at an antique store. She got like these pretty earrings that she just absolutely loved, and I guess the attachment to it, a mother attachment, because they belonged to her daughter, and her daughter was, I believe, she was murdered. It was horrible. I know she knows more of the story. I can't remember. It was so long ago. So the mom held on to these earrings. They were so special, and I guess she just couldn't get past this. And I believe she died on her own will, and so she kind of became attached to these earrings. And then so when my mother-in-law got, started connecting with this energy, it's like, what's going on?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
she was actually mad at her. She's like, why did you take these earrings? They were mine. She's trying to test them. You need to move on. You need to go find your daughter. So it was this big ordeal. So, it's
Yeah.
story.
Yeah, that's how it happens.
It's
That's
interesting.
exactly how it is.
That's, yeah, things like that can happen. Hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Luca, your
Wow.
throat okay?
Top notch. Now, I do want to also say one more disclaimer. Disclaimer after disclaimer tonight.
Disclaimer.
But I wanna jump on that or piggyback on what Annie spoke about earlier, especially for those who are watching the replay. And I'm gonna be very serious about this. If you decide that you want to or you're interested in finding a spirit vessel and you decide to find one and you actually bring one home, by all means, make sure you have done your work,
Mm-hmm.
make sure you've done your research, make sure you understand what you're getting yourself into. Because there are people in the world who are fascinated by things they don't understand, but when the novelty and the interest runs out,
Yep.
it's put aside.
Yeah.
Yep. They
And for those of
poeticize
us,
it.
right.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that social media makes it, hey, this is trending. Haunted dolls are trending this month because of Halloween. And
Exactly.
that's just bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
So I
Exactly.
want to make sure I'm totally serious and I make sure I reiterate the fact that if you are going to get into something where you actually bring home a spirit vessel, purchase it, or whatever the case is, and you're serious about it, it is a relationship now. You have to understand that. And don't just do it on the spur of the moment, like you checking out at Walmart and you have all these hot items right at the check stand where you want to. I want to take this home because this is so cool. I need one of these, and you put it aside or you put it in the junk drawer and you forget about it for
Yeah.
for months and years. This is not the case. This is serious. It's serious work.
Yeah.
For those of us who understand it, like especially like Annie and Donna and everybody else who watches the replay and everybody else who does this type of work and have spirit vessels, it is important that you understand what you're getting yourself into. It is important
Yes.
that you have that devotion to what you're doing, that passion for what you're doing, and also make sure that there is that respect and that
Exactly.
energy exchange between the both of you where there's understandings, there's boundaries, there's ground rules, there's everything put in place where there's no question anymore.
Yeah.
This is our relationship, this is who we are, this is what I expect, this is what you can expect from me.
Yeah.
It's just like a regular relationship in friends or a girlfriend, boyfriend, or
Yeah.
husband and wife. You have to have that same type of understanding. I didn't
Exactly.
just bring my wife home because, or this woman home because I like what she looked like today. But 3 years from now, I'm like, man, you don't look the same. Well, you know what? Neither do I.
Right.
I'm not going to put you on
Exactly.
the shelf because I got a ton of people lined up on my shelf. No, you got to be serious
Exactly.
about it. So that is my disclaimer. That is my maybe my warning. But really, it's not something that you need to fear. It's not something that you need to um, uh, disrespect for sure. And this is what
And
part
you're
of
right,
tonight
Luca.
is.
I don't mean to cut you off, but just to like
No, not at all.
carry
Go
on
ahead.
what you're saying really quick about the fear. You're right. Especially like if you are fearing these items, it's best you stay away from them
They're
because
gonna know.
negative
They know.
energies manipulate fear. Okay,
Yeah, love fear.
they will not only even if like they didn't have an interest in you before, because you're scared, they're gonna like
Hmm.
that. You have to
They
remember,
love
these are
fear.
negative spirits,
Love
right? These
fear.
are manipulative spirits. They want to fuck with you, okay? So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you're scared? All right, let's see how far we can take this. They will
Hmm.
manipulate that energy. So it's best to just stay away from it because with negative spirits, you gotta be very serious and stern,
Oh
and you
yeah.
gotta talk like you're yelling, okay? You
Yep.
have to be very serious. It's not like, oh, you have to go away or like saging and being like, oh, it unwanted, you're gone, be gone. No, 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 no. You got to be like, you got to be very fucking serious, and
Exactly. Yep.
yeah, you can't come at it with fear. So I like that you said that. I just wanted to just put that in there. Sorry to
Not
cut
at
you
all.
off.
No, no, not at all. I just wanted to make sure, like I said, we are mindful of people who are watching, mindful of
Yeah.
people who will be watching, but also we want to make sure we are mindful of Annie, of Grizz, and of Donna. That's important to me. This is what this community is for.
Thank you.
To to break the stereotypes, to open the eyes, to share, to um, move ourselves away from these walls that we build around ourselves because of what other people tell us what the norm is, of what society tells us,
Yeah.
hey, stay away from that, of what our own family tells us, boy,
Yeah.
you're doing the devil's work. Yeah, I'm gonna put evil eyes on you. You better stay away from me, I tell you.
Yeah.
That's what this community is for.
Yeah,
without
exactly.
fear of judgment, without fear of prejudice, of discrimination, but it is a safe place to be. It really is.
Yeah, and I really appreciate that you guys have this going because it's really great. I'm really liking it. I love that. I've checked your guys' videos out on your YouTube and stuff. I'm really liking it. I really watch the videos a lot on YouTube. So as soon as I saw that you
Cool.
you were posting them there, I was like, cool, I'm gonna check them out too. I really like it. It's really cool. It's different. It's all a bunch of different types of like gifted people, and I really like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It is. We are a world of creators. Whether we create the good stuff or the not so good stuff, we are a world of
Yeah,
creators. But
yeah,
the race was designed to have interaction. The human race
exactly.
needs to have that one-on-one connection. The human race
Exactly.
has forgotten how to. Hey, Duchess, Oncology Moms Club. How are you, Claire? She's from London, from Bexhill. Um, we were designed to have that one-on-one connection, and with devices that have been invented in the last several years, we've gotten away from that. And I think
Yeah,
that's sad
it is.
because we've forgotten the art of connection, the art of speaking with one another, the art
Yeah,
of conversation, you
that's
know?
very true.
So, with that said, I don't want to end it too soon. We are going to ask you, Annie, would you come back and talk to us more specifically about spirit vessels?
Yeah, of course I will. Yeah, this has been really great.
Cool,
It's been so much fun.
cool. And I want to say, don't mind that number up in the corner. That means nothing. Okay,
Oh,
that
I
means
wasn't even
nothing. The
paying
number in the
attention to
corner. Okay,
that.
I just wanted to make that known because some people have actually messaged me after. Man, there was only X amount of people in your room. I said that's okay. It's not the people I want in the room. It's the replay viewers on a bigger platform that's going to count.
Yeah,
And I think
that's
we spoke
true.
about that, Abby. We
Yeah.
spoke about that. But also, we have all this lead up to our Friday night, the lead up to Saturday night, our posts, our conversations,
Yeah.
our practice run with you the other night. You're the first one to ask one, and thank you for doing that. But
See, even with the
that's why,
practice runs, you see there was still some trial and error going on. You see?
right? Right? And
I love it.
I'm gonna take full responsibility for that. But
No, you're all
we're gonna
good.
get better. We're getting better. We are learning every single week. We're getting better at it. But we would definitely like to have you come back and talk more about other spiritual vessels. I have come to the end of the notes for tonight for you, Annie. Doesn't mean it is the end of our connection, but as I told Jordan, once you become a guest, you get that little congratulations card. Well, it's a virtual card now, but you're invited to the community chat room. If you'd like us to add you on there, we can
Yeah, go
definitely
for
do
it. Yeah,
that.
I would love that. Go for it. Yeah.
Also, again, it is another way for you to connect with people in our community. There's, I want to say about 25, 30 people now in that community, and it's growing every week. Where
Nice.
you have an upcoming event, or you have specials coming up, or you have special readings coming up that you want to have people be a part of, that's the place to put it. That's where you want
Nice.
to put it at. So it'll give you another chance to get what your coming upcoming events are, or your lives, or anything new that's going to be happening in the services you provide. Put it there so we know. Shoot us a message so we can share that as well with the community,
I
if that's
definitely
okay
will.
with
Thank you so much.
you. Cool. Grizz, parting words for us, Grizz.
Well, she wanted to tell us her story of Queen Mary, and I want to hear it.
Okay, Grizz wants to
Well,
hear
it's
it.
okay. We can keep that for next time if you guys don't have time. It's all up to you guys, though. I mean, I could talk about it.
No, I
I'm fine
mean,
with it. You good?
What
I'm
was
good.
that?
I'm good. Go for it.
You do? All right, cool. Let's talk. Let's talk. So I just wanted to like tell you guys a little bit. So, with the Queen Mary, when Donna docked off, okay, in New York, she was assaulted, not sexually, but she was assaulted and she was robbed.
Mm,
And she believes that that person who did that to her, their spirit is on the ship today.
Oh.
And
Mm.
yeah, and she, the medium Annie I was telling you guys about, um, she told me it's maybe not the best idea for me to go on the Queen Mary. I wanted to because they reopened. That's also one of the things I wanted to get into. Like they were closed for the longest because
Right,
they were owned by like Disney and whatever other production companies and stuff, and then finally Long Beach took control again in 2021, and they
right.
just opened this month, October 2022, October 1st. They opened again the ship, to make money, obviously, and everything. Um, but yes, and so I wanted to go check it out, and I was like, "Is it safe for me to go with Donna and stuff?" And she was like, "That's not a good idea because she specifically wants to go on the Queen Mary, to find this person." And she's like, "You don't want her to go in there where there's like all these spirits, there are negative spirits there,
Yep.
and to like stir shit up." And then like for something to like follow you home or something. She's like, I don't believe that Donna would let that happen, but at the same time, she is like, what Donna specifically said was like, oh, it's about retribution, darling. Those were her words. So
Retribution. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
darling. That's what she said to me and Annie. And I was like, you know what? I get it. I get it. I've been through things. I get it. But that's
Mm.
not how we need to do things, Donna. I was like, oop, oop, oop. I was like, we can't do things like that,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I get it. I can't say I don't get it, but that's one of the things. And like, with some other
It's
stuff,
personal
just
for
look,
her. It's personal
yeah,
for her.
it's possible, exactly. So I'm just like, I can't go there, but I want to go there, you
Like,
know?
or
but but yeah, all of these things, and it's like it's just so crazy. Like I just wanted to tell you guys a little bit about like the Queen Mary. So it's like she is just so connected with it in that way because she really badly wants to go there, right? And I just think that that's so crazy, like because it was a warship, it was all of these things, but I don't think people realize like a lot of the things we like understand to be true about all of these spirits are. A lot of them are actually made up and stuff like that. There's a lot of like preconceived notions about these things.
Hmm.
And like for example, like okay, I'm just gonna read over because I have the exact dates written down. I'm not good at remembering dates. Sorry.
I'm not gonna tell you my birthday then.
Oh my God. But yeah, so it's like, in 1967 is when it permanently docked in LA, right? The ship. And so it had a couple of real actual hauntings, right? Like these are like employees. There was like
Hmm.
during like the war, it was like a main ship, right? So there was like other little ships to like distract the enemies, right? And like to like fight them off and stuff like that. One of the Queen Mary's like little ships of those. And when I say little, it's like next to the Queen Mary, it was little, okay?
was
But it
little.
was like a good
Hmm.
sized boat. Like it was like they're protecting. Something went awry and it
Yeah.
came in the direct path of the Queen Mary, and the Queen Mary split it in half. And there was
Mm.
zero survivors. There's some people got caught in the fucking propellers. Can you imagine that? Like, yeah, it
Yeah.
was like this horrific thing. So yes, there are a lot of actual real spirits of soldiers. Like I have some things, one of the things written here like of dates of how many passengers and soldiers were on this ship during in the year 1945. The most that I have that I found, because these are all like you can find the logs online of the ship, is there for the public. And so I went,
Hmm.
I like did my stuff when I was like communicating with Donna and learning. I like did all of these things and I wrote down dates. And so I brought it here. It's like so I could share it with you guys. And like the most number that I got is right here in September 23 to 28, okay, of 1945. The ship had
Oh,
14,938 soldiers, okay, and
wow.
161 passengers. After November is when there was no passengers. Obviously, things were heightening and all of those things. So it was only soldiers on the Queen Mary after that. But I mean, look at how
Mm.
many people were on the ship. That's a lot of people, like
14,000.
yeah, like what I found articles online where, it also shows the picture of the soldiers basically had this routine. Like, they knew when there was like certain currents and changes and stuff. And sometimes like the currents were so bad that I don't know how they knew. I guess it was just the time, right? Like that was their
Hmm.
life. They just knew what to do. They went and everyone knew where to stand to keep the ship balanced so it doesn't capsize because there were
Wow.
so many people on board. If they didn't do that, the
Hmm.
ship would have capsized because it was just overloaded. If you go and like do the research and look at these pictures, they just look like a bunch of just like salmon stacked on top of each other, just thrown, and they're like human beings on the ship, like going from A to B. It's insanity.
Okay.
It's insanity. So, like, yeah, there's a lot of real spirits on there, but they're like
Wow.
soldiers and employees. They're not like, like, for example, I'm going to get into that right now. So, in 1988, Walt Disney becomes owners of the ship. Okay. Queen
Mm.
Mary is now in their ownership in 1988, right? And they turned those couple of hauntings. Okay, first they were really annoyed because at the haunting thing, they wanted to separate and get away from it. And when they couldn't, that's when they were like, hey, let's make a profit, right? So the below decks with like the watertight doors, okay, it had crushed like a boy or a man. I don't remember the age, but it was like let's say a gentleman. Okay, let's just say that. And like it was door number 13. Till today, this is very
Oh,
known. You know about it. I'm sure you guys know about it. This is real. This actually did happen. He freaking got crushed by the doors, okay, when they were closing, you know. And yes, the spirit is still there, okay. The main deck lounge, the lady in the red dress, bullshit. Doesn't exist. It doesn't
really?
exist. I'm sorry. I know that there's a lot of like people going and having these experiences, and I'm gonna get into what these experiences are in a second. So in 1989 is when the story of the Red Lady comes out. Okay.
Mm.
In 1989 is the same year Disney started marketing the ship as haunted. Tell me that's not a coincidence. You see, like, so when you're working with spirits in the spirit world and you want to know that you're dealing with a real thing, you got to do your research. You got to put those links together. You have to know, you have to distinguish and differentiate the real from the fantasy and the fake. Okay? Because, the Hollywood to the real. You got to know that. So you have to put that into account. There's thousands of people who claim to see a figure in some kind of a red silhouette, till today.
Yeah.
Well, in that
I'm
year,
gonna leave that to
80,
distinguish for yourselves.
in 89, Disney was going through a whole rebranding, remarketing, and that's when was it Michael Eisner that came in
I am not
and
sure honestly, but I
became
think so. I don't remember names good, but yes, there was someone who came in. You're right. Yeah.
and he was more about the fluff, the Hollywood fluff of Disney, where he
Yeah.
created all these different ideas for Walt Disney World. And one of the things that, and you're right about that, that he was trying to do is market and brand the Queen Mary as haunted.
Yeah.
That was one
Yeah,
of the
the
things that he
whole
tried to do.
entire thing started in 1989. I mean, isn't that, I mean, it's a little bit coincidental, sorry, my throat. Don't you think? You gotta, oh, sorry, my alarm is going off. Sorry, I hope no one heard anything. But yes, I mean, you have to see, like, isn't that, it's too much of a coincidence, okay? So,
Right.
I mean, take it as you may. I'm gonna let that be you. You want to believe it or not, but just got to put that fact out there. That is
Yeah.
also one of the things. Like another. Okay, this is another big thing. The little girl Jackie. You guys heard about her? Yeah, the little
No.
girl Jackie.
Heard that one.
No, okay, she's said to haunt the pool. She supposedly drowned in the pool, okay? And her spirit is there haunting the pool, okay? So this little girl, Jackie, all right, and I know this is going to make a lot of different people feel a lot of different ways, probably, who swear up and down to the experiences and to all of this. And again, just bear with me because I'm about to get into that as to what you think you're experiencing and why and what is going on, okay? Just just bear with me on this, okay? Before anyone watching gets all heated about anything, okay? Yes, the Queen Mary's haunted. There are evil spirits on there that you need to be careful with. However, a lot of these stories are also boo-boo and bullshit, and where the real spirits resonate and are places that you can't even get to on the ship.
Mm.
Okay. So, I mean, they only actually make it accessible and renting out rooms and stuff to the first class, the first floors and stuff, okay, where it was considered first class. The actual places that are actually haunted with these spirits, you can't get to it. They're not
Mm.
accessible if you're not working there as an employee. You have to understand that. I want you
I
to
heard that.
understand that, you know.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so supposedly she died in the second class swimming pool. Okay. And no, sorry. Yes, in the second class swimming pool, okay, which was removed, okay, and it's now part of the museum, okay. So
Mm.
where they claim her spirit is right now, it's actually the museum. It's not even the pool anymore.
Uh-huh.
So these videos that you can like go and watch online, or these tours that you can go take to their pool that they're showing you of Jackie, oh, behind these doors is the pool you can't get into. It's not safe and blah, blah, blah. That's not even the right pool, you guys. That's not the right pool. Okay, I'm gonna read this out because I don't want to make mistakes, okay? It said that she died in the second class swimming pool, which was removed and is now part of the museum. Realistically, where the pool people claim to see her spirit, okay, the pool that is shown today, now, okay, that pool, okay, was the first class pool. It was not even the second class pool where she actually died. Where the
Mm.
second class pool was originally was removed. That pool was discarded and it's now the museum. So I don't know.
Mm.
And a little other fun fact. That second class pool, it's on the other side of the ship. It's complete. This is a massive ship. I mean, here's one end
Right.
of the pool on the left, and here's where it actually happened, all the way on the other side of the freaking ship over there. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even in the right area. Okay, if you do
Mm-hmm.
your research and look it up, it's not even in the right area. So how is this possible? How is it that pool? Okay, if that pool wasn't the pool and the actual pool that she actually drowned in is the pool that was removed and is now the museum, how is it that this spirit is now in this pool on all the way on the other side of the ship where people are claiming that she drowned in? That's not correct. That's not factual. And there isn't even any logs or any kind of document stating that anybody at any time throughout the Queen Mary's life even passed away in a pool.
Mm.
Take it what you may. Again, misconceptions. Again, differentiating the lies of Hollywood to the realities of
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah.
They take those little tiny, or not little tiny, but those few spirits that do resonate and call that home, and they turn it into this whole Hollywood setup thing, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So more. That again, I think that's another fake story, right? Wrong pool entirely. I mean, it's insane. It's insane, but I mean, it's Disney, right? It's a huge production company. This is how they make their money, right? So
Right.
this is all it is. So yeah, I mean, another thing like, um, the Disney stuff. A lot of these things. Okay. Oh my God. Before I get into that, Room B340. You guys heard of Room B340 in the Queen Mary?
Oh.
All right, that's another big one. It's a room that's actually rented out to people overnight. Okay, and people do have really crazy experiences in this room. I'm gonna get into it. They're not actual experiences. I'm sorry. There are thousands of people who are probably going to attack me for saying that. I'm sorry. B340. It's been remodeled. The whole entire room. It's been regutted by Disney from the walls. The walls were all torn down, taken down. The walls, everything's been regutted, remodeled. It said that a crazy man was being held in that room who was going around dismembering people. Apparently he dismembered a woman one night. And yet there's no records, no newspapers, no news, no nothing, no media saying or claiming about. I mean, you think that there's someone chopping people up somewhere that it's not going to be in the media? I mean, there is no,
Yeah.
yeah, there is no record of even an arrest or anything. Nothing. Nothing. Zero.
Wow.
Okay, there's no evidence proving this or backing it up historically. Just there isn't. Okay, and I'm going by historical facts, what has actually happened, and so I think that's a fake story by Disney because this room has been gutted. Okay, let me tell you guys something. It's called special effects.
What?
People go here. People spend a lot of money, good hard-earned money, to go have these experiences. Okay, they really do. And yes, they are special effects. Yeah, when you're sleeping, the door moves or it shuts or things move. Lights go on and off or flicker, or you might hear things or whatever. These things that people genuinely think that they're recording, and these are spiritual experiences. These are hard evidences. That is not. I'm really sorry. I know you guys may feel some type of certain way with me saying this, like not you two, but just generally whoever's watching this. And I don't mean to, offend anybody, but I do also want to be honest with you guys, with all of you. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
like put the fluff and foo-foo on it. And yes, again, the ship is very haunted, but these things that I'm pointing out are the misconceptions. I want you guys to understand the facts, the historical facts, and to understand the realities of the matter. Okay? It's just how it is. It's Disney. It's a corporation. It's freaking, I mean, it's Disney, you guys, the whole entire B340 has been regutted. It's all special effects. Everything people think that they experience in that room is fucking foo-foo. It's bullshit.
Mm.
Okay? It's not real. And that's going to piss a lot of people off. And I'm sorry, but it is.
I've been to Long Beach twice in sheesh, I don't know, like within 8 years or so of each other. One was for work, one was for a vacation. But I was there twice, and I didn't go onto the ship, but I did get next to it, and it's massive. It's huge.
Right?
I didn't I didn't understand about mediumship. I didn't understand about spiritual work. I didn't understand about how spirits work. But there are times, like when we're standing around and you get that chills or that shivers in the back of your neck and the
Or
hair stands up.
smells that you don't know what you're smelling. Like, I'm not talking about hot dogs and there's a hot dog right there. I'm talking about smells that, don't make sense in the areas and
Yep.
stuff like that. You're right, exactly. Yeah, you got to pay attention to that.
So as I got closer to the ship, and I could only go get so far. As I got closer to the ship, I had this feeling in the back of my neck again, where all the hair stood up in the back of my
Yep,
head.
yep,
And it was the weirdest thing. It was just like, and then I remember hearing a couple of years after that. Do you know when you feel? It came out in the movie The Sixth Sense. Do you know
yeah,
when you feel the hairs on the back of your neck stand up?
yeah,
That
yeah,
Electricity.
that's them. Yeah,
yeah,
that's them.
Electricity. Yeah.
But
it is.
right. But when I was standing at the ship and I looked up at it, and my hairs just stood up, and it was so crazy, I had to back off. I had to step away. It was
Yeah,
unreal.
there's a lot of
And
spirits there roaming
oh yeah,
around. And honestly, like, I'm gonna say this. This is kind of like my opinion, but it's also my opinion from having a little bit of an understanding of the spirit life and, things that could actually piss spirits off that, won't usually be benevolent or haunting that can turn them into it. My opinion is, okay, look, this was their home, right? And here they are, these production companies are coming in and actually like basically making, they have like haunted houses and mazes and stuff like that on the ship. And these
right,
people are dressed up as the actual spirits and things like that. You
right,
know what I mean?
right.
And that's offensive. Do you
Yeah.
have any idea how offensive that is to the spirit to do that? That's basically
Yeah.
like spitting in their face. That's like asking them to haunt you. That's like asking them to like, hate you. Okay? Literally, that's like asking for it. Like they're not
Now,
only there, like basically they feel like they're being made fun of, you know what I mean? And that's pretty much what it is, right? And like they're I think that they're feeling so like disrespected, here's
yep,
their resting place, like this is their home, and there's people just trying to like not only like make things up about it, but also make up these spirits, and all of a sudden it's this money enterprise, and all of a sudden it's this and that. What they've turned it into and how they've actually treated these spirits, it's not in the best of positive of ways, it's not in a respectful way. And I think that that's also maybe why like a lot of the spirits, there are places where there's a lot of like, negative spirits, and I think that that's why they turned into negative spirits, because they're just so
yeah,
fucking pissed off,
yeah.
and they feel disrespected, and so they're like, no.
Now to add to that, and I want to make sure we say this: Disney, don't come after me. If you do, hire me, but don't come after me.
No, you can come after me. I wrote a whole entire paper in college ripping Disney's asshole.
But it's not just the special effects. It's not just um, Disney putting together a product for the public to profit from it, but it's also now the paranormal investigators, the not the people who are more well respected and understood, but you have those who are, hey, this is fun. We should definitely go and investigate Queen Mary. And again, it's their findings or whatever happens during the
Exactly.
investigation. I mean, there's so much disrespect in a lot of people that I've seen do investigations on
Yep.
Queen Mary, and
Just in general too.
you know,
Yeah.
you're
Exactly. Like you
asking
see
for
them like exactly like it's like these people are like not really exactly genuine when they're going on these investigations, and they're being so dramatic when an actual something happens, right? They actually have an experience, and then they're like, did you see
yeah,
that?
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like no, like that's how you know that those people are to like just stop watching it. Like
yeah,
let me just say that, just stop watching it, because you're just wasting your time, and you're giving someone views who is not genuine. Like, let me just say
yeah.
that. Like, the second I see that on YouTube, I'm like, all right, next. Like, you're bullshit. Like, I'm not gonna
Yeah,
give you my time. Like,
there's a freedom of our choice to stay and watch these people create or do the investigation, or to actually take ourselves away from that.
yeah,
And I
because they're
think a
just there for
lot of us,
entertainment. They're not there for like to actually give respect to these spirits. Exactly.
I don't think it's just the entertainment part of it. I also think it's the recognition part of it that people want, that comes
Yeah,
along with the
that's true.
paranormal investigation. Because I was going to do one for Halloween, and I told Grizz about it,
Yeah.
and I had done one earlier this year, and it didn't work out well for me. It did not work out well for me. So I decided not to do one again this year.
Yeah,
It was ill prepared. I didn't do my work. I didn't do my research.
Yeah.
yeah,
I wasn't ready
yeah,
for it.
yeah. That's
But
true.
I will be on the next one. I will be, because there will be another.
Yeah. Before we wrap up tonight, I do just really quick want to show you guys the tools too that I have over here before we forget.
Cool. Yep.
So like
Go ahead.
so like this is one of the tools that I use. Like if you turn it on, so what it does is pretty much on the top you can see basically like the energy fields and everything. So you can, basically read out if there's like any known energies anywhere. So she does not use this at all. Till today she doesn't
Mm.
use that. I don't know why. This is another form of it, okay, that you might have seen. It's more common. It lights
What is
up and
that
stuff
called?
like that. It's just the
EMF.
energy field. It's like an energy
The EMF.
field. It's
Okay.
an EMF, yeah, EMF meter. And then so I also have Okay, so another fun little one that she likes to work with is a REM pod. So this REM
Mm.
pod is really cool. So if it turns on, like if you go close to it, it'll like beep and stuff. So I'll put it by her, and if she ever like if I'm talking to her and if she wants to make herself known, it'll like start beeping and everything. So it's really freaking cool. So those are like the ways that I talk to her other than my copper dowsing rods.
That's cool. I actually ordered me a REM pod about a week ago.
Really?
Oh, nice. Yeah,
Where are
they're
you
very
gonna
awesome. They're great.
where are you gonna set it up?
Now, I don't know yet. I'm gonna let Spirit tell me where to go.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stream it. I'm gonna go live and when I do it.
Do
There is a place I
it.
know of. There's a place I know of, but I need to get permission. There's certain permissions I need to get first.
All
Hmm.
right.
Okay.
But cool. Thank you for sharing the story about Queen Mary and the history. And
Yeah, thank you for allowing me to. Thank you for having me. We actually like,
by all
wow,
means,
this was a great little meeting. My phone battery is dying.
At a
It was a
convention.
great little meeting. We've been here forever, and it was like I feel like I could be here for another like couple hours.
only 4.5 hours. This is our longest yet. Only 4.5 hours. But
I
but
swear.
before we go, I want to make sure we reiterate your information for those of you who are just joined.
3.5.
We are going to do something a little bit, just a few minutes after this. For those of you just joined, our guest tonight has been Annie. You see in the bottom of our screen there. A.I.M reads on Instagram. Also, her special friend, her spirit vessel doll, Donna, also with us tonight. Um, Annie, any last words for us tonight?
I'm sorry?
Closing words for us tonight. Any closing words for us tonight?
Just thank you for having me here. This was so much fun. This was a lot of fun just talking and meeting everyone, and it was really great. Me and Donna had a good time. This is great, and I can't wait until next time. Hopefully, there is a next time.
There will be. There will be.
Yeah,
There will
this
be. I
is
promise
Part
you.
great.
two.
And
We're gonna
hopefully,
talk
all of
about
you
something
stay
off air.
tuned. Hopefully, all of you watch it till the end and watch the whole video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to all of us.
Yes, exactly.
And we love and appreciate everyone who stayed with us till the end. Thank you.
Yep,
I just wanted to say
exactly.
that. Thank you.
Thank you, Annie.
Yeah.
Grizz, parting words for us?
Um, can't think of any, but I mean, yeah, like Annie said, we can like there's so much too, like there's so many topics, and it's like you get into it and it, like you want to, ask more questions and it's like a little kid, they ask you a question, you answer, and then they're like, but why? But why? It's like
Yeah.
that's how I feel with this,
It's
all these topics.
it's like Annie said. It's like onions. There's layers of it.
Yeah, there's
Layers and
layers.
layers and layers and layers.
Why
And
does
the
it
Yeah,
more
remind
you
me of
peel
Shrek?
back, the more you discover. The more you peel
exactly.
back, the sweeter the fruit. The more you
Yep,
peel back, the closer you get to the core. And that's what we want to
exactly.
get to, the core. That's where it's the best.
Exactly.
So, with that being said, Annie, again, for Grizz and myself and everybody else who is watching, I truly appreciate you coming on and sharing your story with
Thank
us,
you
sharing
so
Donna's
much
story
for
with us,
having us.
sharing your services. We are going to have you come back. We'll talk about that off air.
Great, great. I'm glad. And if my phone just shuts off or something, my phone died, okay? So I apologize. It's on its
Okay,
last life
hopefully,
right now.
so I want you to be able to see this, but I need to ask you a favor. I need to
Yes.
ask both of you a favor.
Okay.
Before I play these videos, I think it works best if I turn my phone, but I'm going to ask for both of you to step down and to watch the video. And then there's a good possibility we'll go live tomorrow. I'll shoot you guys a message. We're going
Okay.
Yeah,
to talk
let me
about the
know.
videos
Yeah, we'll
tomorrow.
talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk and
Okay?
plan.
So you're gonna
Okay.
show us the video.
So,
We'll step down and you're gonna show the video. Is that what you're gonna do?
yes, because it'll give you the fuller screen of the video. It'll be a better view of the video. But thank
And
you,
then
everybody, for
we'll
joining
talk about
tonight.
it tomorrow or what?
I'll let you know. I'll shoot you guys a message. I think
Okay,
we'll
perfect.
watch the videos tonight, and then we can talk about it tomorrow if you want to.
Okay, perfect.
I know tomorrow. I don't know what works for your plans, Grizz, but If you can join, great. Anybody that can join, awesome. I'm
Okay.
gonna ask a couple of people to join us tomorrow because I want to show them the video. I have it set up for us to go, so it'll
Okay,
make it easier.
awesome.
I actually have 6 videos, but I'm gonna show you 3. Now, if you're wearing earbuds or earphones, be mindful. There is one video that you're gonna hear a noise, and it's gonna freak the fuck out of you.
Oh God. All right. Can
So
you give me two
disclaimer.
seconds to just, my cat is like
Yes,
crying. I just want to make sure she's okay. Is that okay? All
go
right, I'll
ahead,
be
Annie.
right back. Okay, I'll
Yep,
be
go
right
ahead.
back.
Yep. So a disclaimer before we start the video, I need to do a little bit of setup and turn my phone around and get you guys on my computer. My laptop is set up to go. But if you are triggered by things of the unknown, you're triggered by the paranormal, you're triggered by anything that you're uncomfortable with that I'm about to show, please, by all means, click off the screen right now. If you are curious, I can say this much. It is not anything that is negative. It's not anything that has ill intent, or I wouldn't be showing you these videos if I wasn't confident enough about um, it not being something that's gonna attach itself to anybody or attach itself to you, especially that are watching. But I thought I'd share it tonight. So, Grizz, do you have a good night tonight?
I did. Yeah, it was interesting.
Cool.
Really interesting.
Very much
A little
so.
bit of back pain, so you guys probably saw me wiggling around a lot, but doing good.
Well, at least you didn't walk off camera like I did 3 times. I
I'm
had
still
to.
here.
I had to. Yeah, and I appreciate you
Alrighty,
being
I am
here.
back.
Okay, so I just gave a little disclaimer about if you're triggered by things of the unknown, the spiritual. Now's a good time to click out. So I'm gonna ask you to step down again. Thank you so much, Annie, for tonight, and Donna. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
Um,
having us.
Thank you.
you're very welcome. I'm gonna play 3 videos. I'm gonna explain it to you real quick. They're about a minute each, and then I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna leave it limbo, just like that. It is part of our Halloween episode. Oh, by the way, next week we're gonna do one more Halloween special.
What?
Nice.
Cross fingers. I got somebody coming in that's gonna blow your mind. Cross your fingers, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay.
All
So
right.
with that being said, this is the end of our session with Annie tonight. Thank you again, Annie. Grizz, thank you again, ladies. We'll
Thank
see you later.
you.
Thank
I'm
Blessed
gonna turn
you.
camera
be.
around.
Good
Have
night.
a good night and
Thank
day,
you.
everybody, wherever you are in the world.
Okay, we're not ending yet, so I just want to make you know, let you know I'm gonna
Oh,
flip you guys
awesome.
around. Okay, I gotta make it a little bit dark so you can see it. Okay. And Annie, I'm gonna excuse you out, okay?
Go for it. Bye,
All
everybody.
right. Let's see. Okay, wait. How do I do this? Nope. I think you gotta. Can you log off? I forget how to do it.
Log off. Do I press the X on the top right?
Oh, let me go. Let me do it. I'll do it for you. I think I got it. Oop. Okay, yeah. I think I got it.
I don't want to accidentally exit the live.
Nope, nope. Don't do anything. I got you.